Hey, happy Wednesday. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. It's cold out here though. My car looks like it's on fire back there. No, it's just exhaust because it's just cold as shit outside. It's actually not that bad. I don't have a coat on though because I'm going to make a video in Walmart, and well, sometimes I'll wear a coat and just leave it in the car, but I can't wear it into the store because it will hit the microphone and make sounds, and I can't wear a coat when I'm making a video. So this is the time of year when I'm just cold. I'm just gonna have to be cold if I'm making a video in a store because I can't wear a coat. I've been looking for a coat, and I don't know that it would work. It would have to not have a collar. It would have to sit pretty low. See, I have on my V-neck sweater here. It would have to sit pretty low where it doesn't hit the microphone. Now, you won't know it's hitting the microphone until you go back later and listen to the video and you hear all those horrible sounds of the microphone hitting your coat. Yeah. So, I think what I really need to find, though, is just like a big, thick, warm V-neck sweater. This one's not bad. This is a V-neck sweater. I found it at the little thrift store for $3. It has like a tie-dye look to it. It's pretty warm, and then I have on like a long sleeve shirt under it. So, you know, I'm actually not that uncomfortable. Of course, I'm in a heated car with a heated seat and all that, but I mean, really the only time I'm uncomfortable is when I walk going from the car to the store and then coming back out. That's about it. So it's not that bad. Somebody always makes a comment though, "Where's your coat?" Somebody in the parking lot will always ask me where my coat is, which is kind of sweet. Like, you have kids, don't you? I want to ask them that. You're a parent, aren't you? Because I think the same thing when I see somebody and it's really cold and they don't have a coat on. I don't care if it's a kid or an adult. I don't ask them, but I want to ask them, "Where's your coat? You need to go put a coat on. It's cold out here." I don't know. I think it's just something that you just sort of start doing automatically. Maybe you do it if you don't have kids. I don't know, but I can say for myself, I never had that thought, never crossed my mind before I had kids. It never did. Yeah. And I've noticed too, when I'm standing somewhere, I start swaying back and forth, like sort of shifting on my feet. I never did that before I had kids. Because you remember you're holding a kid and you kind of rock them, you know. I never did that before I had kids. All kinds of shit that you just start doing, and it's just like automatic. You don't even think about it. Oh, there's a house for sale. Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice house. Sorry. I like the houses through here. I can't afford them, but they're really pretty. Well, I guess on paper I could afford them. I could, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't afford these houses. They're just, nah. I don't. Too high for me. Especially now. Good. Especially in the last couple of years. Good Lord, no thank you. I think I'll stay where I am. So I'm doing fine. Thank you for all your kind words yesterday. I'm all right. Sometimes when I get mad, I tend to get upset. I hate that I do that, but I do. Yeah, I'm fine. So I'm being blinded right now, but other than that, I'm good. It's a pretty day. I'm feeling good. I had fun with the drink mixes yesterday. That was fun. I enjoyed doing that. So I'm going to the fancy Walmart because I need Pepsis, and the one I normally go to never has my Pepsis, like ever. They don't have them. I don't know why. They just don't. The Taj Mahal Mart always has my Pepsis, so I decided to just run out there. And while I'm there, I'm going to do a shop with me video because I want to make soup. I'm going to make a dill pickle. I'm not looking at you. I want to make a dill pickle soup. And a bunch of the ingredients I don't have. So I thought, well, we haven't done a shop with me in a while. Maybe we could just try it. Sometimes, there have been times I've tried to do a shop with me video, and it, for one reason or another, it just didn't work. Like the store was really busy or noisy for some reason. Like yeah, this isn't gonna work. This is not, nah, just forget it. Just get your groceries and get the hell out of here. So it just doesn't work. But maybe, I don't know, it's early in the morning. It's about 8:30. My kids are gone to school. Everybody's good as far as I know. And so I'm gonna try it. It can't hurt to try. So, and I'll get everything. I don't know if I'm actually gonna make the soup today. It will depend on how much work I have to do, like for my day job. I checked my email before I left the house, and right now it doesn't look too bad. I filed something and got that reported and docketed and everything. And I may have one more thing to do later, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm really starting to wonder about my day job. I am. Okay, so we have one client, basically one big client in Germany. And we do most of the work we do, 95% of our work is for them. And for years, I've been working with this client in this capacity for over 15 years. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. And, up until recently, we would get 1 or 2 new patent applications a month from this client. It's a really big company, and they do a lot of work. They have patents all over the world, and they are, of course, interested in having patents here in the USA. So we are not the only ones who file their applications either, which makes me wonder. Okay, so here's the thing. Starting back in May of last year, we stopped getting new patent applications. We have not gotten a new patent application since May of 2022. That's unprecedented. It's not normal. So our work is slowly drying up because we don't have any new stuff coming in. We get stuff issued and out the door, and no new work is coming in. So we don't have a lot to do. And I asked the attorney, I sent him an email. I said, what is going on with our workload? And I wondered if maybe he had said something to them, like maybe he's planning on retiring, because he is in his 70s. Maybe he's planning on retiring and he just didn't say anything to me, but he went to the client and said, hey, I want to start wrapping things up. We'll finish out what we have, and then I'm looking to retire. Maybe he said that and I just didn't know. No, apparently not. He said, no, I'm not sure what's going on. I'll talk to so-and-so with the company and see what's going on. But that was like a month ago, and I haven't heard a word out of him since then. It's really weird. So anyway, I'm wondering, since they do work with other firms in the USA, I'm wondering if they've decided to just have some other firm start doing our work for some reason. And so then it's like when you're in a relationship and things aren't going well, and you start to kind of doubt yourself, like you get a feeling that things are not quite right. So what's wrong with me? What have I done? Why are you being this way? Because I'm sitting here like, we do good work for them. Why are there always barrels here? Why? There's always construction here, and it never makes any sense. Like, I think you fiddle over here and you have the barrels up, and then you fiddle over here and you have the barrels up, and when it's all said and done, it looks just like it did before you fiddled it all. That sums up road construction in North Carolina. What are you doing? What is this? Can we not ever just have a road that's just open and you can just drive on it without having to do this? Irritating. I didn't cuss. Did I cuss? I don't even know if I did. I don't know. I probably will before the day's over. So anyway, about my job, I'm wondering if they are funneling all of the work that was coming to us to another firm. And so I'm like, well, what's wrong with us? I mean, we do good work. We provide a good quality product to you. We always have. We're consistent. We kick ass. I mean, the attorney and I, we work together great. We kick ass. I'm telling you. We are a wonderful team. We work together great. What is the problem? Do we charge too much? I don't know that we do. I imagine our fees are pretty, typical for what we do. I mean, I don't think it's out of reason. I think it's, what is it? Is it me or is it you? What is the problem here? Or maybe the company, for some reason, just is not producing as much new stuff. I don't know. But we have gotten literally hundreds of patents for this company in the USA. So we just do USA stuff. We don't handle anything in other countries. They have firms in those other countries that handle stuff, and they get patents all over the world. And so I don't know. But anyway, I'm sitting here like, I'm looking at my billable hours, and they're just going down, 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 down. Like, I look back over last year, and it's like, man, you can just see it drop. And it's because no new work is coming in. That's what it is. And I'm running out of work to do. Which is good for videos because it gives me more time to do that and other stuff. But I would like to have an actual job, I would like to make some money. That'd be cool. So I don't know. So I'm just wondering. I don't plan to do anything at this point, but there will come a point where there's just no more work to do if we don't get anything new in. So then the first thing I would ask would be, okay, I am set up to fully work remotely. Is there another firm in the USA that could use some part-time help with this client? Because I know their work like the back of my hand. I can do that shit all day. Oops, excuse me. I can do that all day long. So I don't know. If not, I have some other ideas. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see what happens. I'm not really sure. Not really sure what's going on because I didn't hear back from him. I guess I need to follow up with him again. Hey, did you talk to so and so? And if so, what did they say? Because he's a great person, but he's not always quick to tell me important stuff. Like when he was leaving the last firm we worked with, he basically just walked in one day and said, yeah, it's my last day here. Do you want to come work remotely for another firm? Like, I'm sorry, what? What? This is your last day here? Why? Because then I wondered, because the week before, he emailed me and said, hey, do you have a copy of your resume? And which I thought was weird. Like, why do you, what? Can you send me a copy of your resume? I'm like, yeah, but why? What for? He was sending it to this new firm he was going to. And he said, yeah, they looked at your resume. They would love to hire you as a contract employee to work just for me. And we come in like a package deal. And you just work for me. You won't have to work for anybody else. And we'll just keep doing what we've been doing at this firm. You'll be working from home and you'll just be doing it for this other firm out of state. Like, oh. Well, it's not like I have a choice because at this firm, you're the only one I work for. And once you're gone, they're going to let me go anyway. So I guess we'll do that then. I've now followed this guy. Let's see. We started out working together at one firm, the firm where I worked for 18 years. We met there, started working together there, and then he went to this other firm when the other firm was basically taken over by a big firm, and it was a mess. And he didn't want to stay with them, so he goes to this other firm. So I went with him eventually. I didn't go with him right away. It was a thing. And now we're working for this other firm. Like, okay, this is starting to sputter out though, because if we don't have any work to do, I don't know what the hell we're supposed to do. So, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air right now, and it makes me uncomfortable. I don't like for things to be up in the air. I want to know what we're doing. Like, what's happening? What can I expect? What's coming up? And I don't know. And I don't like that. I don't like uncertainty. I want to know how things are going. I do not like surprises. I want to be prepared for whatever is coming. And I don't know how to prepare if I don't know what's coming. But I have, I have like plan B, plan C, plan D. Like I have alternatives. Like I know what I want to do. I would like to keep working for this firm remotely, or for this company remotely. But I don't know. But it's weighing on my mind, and I don't know how it's going to work out. But so anyway, I don't think a lot of work is going to get in the way of me making this dill pickle soup today. It looks yummy. It looks really good. We're going to go for it. I'm blinded. So, I think we could do it. I bought a little food processor a while ago. I might get to use it to chop up some of these vegetables. I've never had a food processor before. This is my first food processor. I just bought a little cheap one on Amazon. It was like $20. Just a little small, inexpensive thing, and so it does look like I might need it to chop up some vegetables. So I'll give it a try. But here we are at the Taj Mahal Mart. Gas is $2.95 a gallon over here at the Murphy, USA. They have all the Christmas stuff 75% off at Walmart now. And at Aldi. I went in there yesterday and they had just marked everything down 75%. And, I said I needed to quit eating gingerbread houses. Well, see, okay, they had a ton of gingerbread houses. They had probably 20 gingerbread house kits. Tons of them. And they were all like $1.75 each for these gingerbread houses. So I bought two. I felt like I was doing well. Is that a handicap spot? It's not. No, it's not. I only bought two, so I kind of felt like I was showing remarkable restraint. Like, they're $1.75. I mean, I could buy all of these, and it would be a deal. And I could eat gingerbread houses until summertime, pretty much. But I only bought two, and both of my kids rolled their eyes at me like, Mom, stop bringing home gingerbread houses. Said, I'm not going to do it. That's right. So, okay, I got to go in here in a minute. But, all right, I wanted to update you on the cat situation in my house. Wally still has not shown up. He is not in any of the shelters around here. To the best of my knowledge, he's not. Unless he was picked up recently and they don't, they have to quarantine him or whatever the hell they do. To the best of my knowledge, he's not in any shelters around here. Nobody has seen him. It's like he just vanished. It's like he just disappeared off the face of the earth. I still keep an eye out for him. We still look for him every day. So we have my 3 cats. They're doing fine. And I have 3 other cats that come to my house at this point. There's one cat with little white socks. It's one of the neighbor's cats. I know where this cat lives. Cute little cat, but it's scared to death. If it sees you, it will run away. We call him Socks. Cute little cat. And then there are these 2 cats that I think come from the same house because they have the same kind of collar on. They have really, really nice collars. Like these leather collars, and they have a brass plate on the collar, and engraved on the plate is the cat's name and the phone number of wherever they live, which I'm not gonna call. Like, they come every day. And so, but for the longest time we couldn't get close enough to read the collars, and on one of them I still haven't been able to get close enough to read the name on the collar, so I don't know this cat's name. One of them, it's beautiful. These cats are so pretty. There's one that's like a gray striped cat, beautiful cat, just a gorgeous cat. And we just, well, at first my younger son named him Boba, like Boba Fett, I guess. But I couldn't remember what he said to call this cat, and I knew it had an O sound in it, so I decided the cat's name was Nobu. I don't even know where I came up with Nobu, but I decided his name was Nobu, and I thought it was a he. So I started calling it Nobu, and Nobu, and Nobu would come around, and for the longest time, this cat was scared to death. It wouldn't get anywhere near you. it would eat. It was always very hungry, and he would eat. I would put food out and water, but he wouldn't let you get close to him. But then one day I was putting out food, and Nobu just ran up to me and started like headbutting me, like, oh my gosh. And he let me pet him. Like, oh, he's so sweet. So now he really wants to be petted, but Evie hates his guts. So every time Evie sees this cat, she comes running over to the door and is like attacking the door, trying to get to this cat. Like, Evie, damn it, stop it. The other cat she doesn't care about. Nobu she can't stand. So the other cat is this like a British short hair cat, kind of a dusty orange color, really pretty cat. Has a little round face, and kind of a squished face. And my son named that cat Wattage, but I thought he said Wallix. So we started calling that cat Wallix. That is a girl cat, but I can't read the collar. So I don't know that cat's actual name. Nobu, I was able to read his collar the day he let me pet him. And apparently, Nobu's name, I thought, well, if I can read the name, I'll know if it's a boy or a girl, because I haven't been able to look at the equipment on this cat. Like, I don't know what this is. No, the name didn't help at all. Nobu's actual name is Mouse. Mouse. Like a mouse, like, well, that doesn't help. So, but today it was funny because this morning, so Wallix and Nobu come to the house every morning to eat. I always put food out. As soon as I get up, I'll put some food out there for them. They show up for breakfast first thing. Both of them come out there. And they both have the same kind of collar on, so I think they both live at the same house. My hand's getting tired. But today, Nobu showed up at the house with the same collar on, but also with another collar that had a pink bow tie on it. I'm like, oh, is Nobu a girl? I thought it was a boy. I don't know why. He just in the face, it just kind of, I don't know, just kind of looked like a tomcat, sort of, maybe. But no, I think Nobu is a girl. Like, sorry. Whatever. I don't think Nobu cares. If Evie is nowhere around, I will open the door and pet her, a little bit. Wallix doesn't really care to be touched. Like, I'm really just here to eat. If you would just not touch me, that would be great. Just don't touch me. Okay. So I just let her eat and I'll leave her alone. But, oh gosh, what was it? A couple of days ago, I opened the door to put some food out, and Nobu just came in the house. Just do. I'm like, I don't know about that. Evie doesn't like you. And she's walking around just like, she gets up, she stands up really high like this, like a little meerkat, and she just, she's looking around the house like she's in Disney World, like, wow. And I said, I don't know, Kat. I didn't want to put my hands on her. Like, I don't want to freak her out. But, like, you might want to go back out. Because if Evie finds out you're in here, she is going to get mad. And then Evie comes around the corner like, oh, hell no. And she chases Nobu into the dining room. And they have just a cat fight in there. A little tufts of hair on the floor. Nobu goes running back out. Didn't see her the rest of the day. But she came back the next day for breakfast, so she seems to have gotten over it. But she has not tried to come back in the house. So, I don't know. That's my cat situation. I keep saying I'm not going to adopt any more cats, but they keep adopting me. I think I am just always going to have cats. I don't even know that I can help it. But I got smart this morning. You know what I did? I thought I need a hard surface to put my thing on. Oh, and I need a retractable pen. I don't know that I have a retractable pen. Let me see. I meant to check before I left the house. I do have a retractable pen. I have one from the 2020 election. Look at that. It's been in here a little bit. I better check and make sure it works. That way, when we find stuff, we can mark it off. It does work. All right. But I decided you need a surface to put your list on so you can check your stuff off, so you're not having to mash it on the little cart thingy. So I grabbed this off the bookshelf. This was my favorite book when I was a kid because I was obsessed with horses. The Album of Horses. And it has the prettiest pictures of horses in here. Oh, look, there's a Clydesdale. See? I love this book. Oh, I love this book so much. There's a standard bread. Look. This was my favorite book when I was a kid. And this was mine, the original copy. And so I'm going to use the Album of Horses book to put my list on so I can check my stuff off. What do I need? I need chicken broth, potatoes, carrots, dill pickles, sour cream, Old Bay seasoning. I don't have any of that. Cayenne pepper. I don't have any of that. It says you can use fresh dill as a garnish. I don't think I'm going to bother with that. So there are a few things on here that I need. So, and you know, when I do a shop with me, sometimes I also just walk around and look at other stuff too. So we'll walk around and see what's good in there. We'll do that. So that is my, let me shut this off. That is my plan for this morning. I don't know if I'll get the soup made or not. I might be able to, but again, it depends on, you know, I might get back and have a bunch of work to do. I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but yeah, so I need to quit yapping and get in there. Make sure I have my keys and my money. Gotta have some money. They like it when you pay for things. And oh, my earbud doodahs, my microphone, this thing. So when you have and one thing I did do, I put a knot in the microphone right here so it doesn't hang down quite as far. So it's right here and it's not down here. So there's less of a chance for it to hit something. But when you turn your head, you have to be careful not to turn it too far, because all it takes is a slight little brush on your face or your shoulder to make a loud noise. So yeah, it's the little things you have to attend to that will drive you crazy. But happy Wednesday to you. I really hope that you're having a good day. I'm in a better mood today. I'm not mad. Well, I wasn't really mad yesterday. I just get frustrated sometimes. I'm flabbergasted. I'm just exasperated I am reminded on a daily basis how many ridiculous people exist on this planet. And it gives me no hope for the future. Like, what is wrong with people? I have no hope for humanity. It's just sad. No, that's not true. I do. But thank you so much for being here. I'm going to get my microphone thingy straightened out. Walk into Walmart with my Album of Horses and get to it. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again soon.